guys, so today I'm going to be filming my January wrap-up and February TBR. I got thrown off because I only did like a January TBR video by itself. Anyways, these are the books that I read in January and the books that I want to read in February. So the first book that I read in January was The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, and I loved it. Like, I haven't read a dystopian-esque or a dystopian novel in a very long time that I know of. Honestly, I probably do and didn't even remember it. No, I don't think I have in a while. Okay, cool. I really enjoyed the character dynamics. The fact that Chubbs was the way that Chubbs is, I just had to like quickly not spoil anything. I just really loved Chubbs' character because it felt very realistic and how you would react in that type of situation. So I was just very happy with Chubbs' character and the way that that whole thing went down. And then the dynamics, and I like the storyline, and I'm a sucker for superpowers. So the fact that there were superpowers in this book just like blew my mind, and I loved it. I loved it so much. The next book that I read was Never Fade, and I really enjoyed this one just because I feel like it led the story to like, there's a destination now. Like, we had a destination in The Darkest Minds, but it was also still an introductory book because it was the first book in a series, so we were kind of getting comfortable with everybody and their characters and the storyline and the world. And so I just really liked this book because it was definitely darker, but it also just kind of set us up for like a wonderful kind of conclusion, I feel like. And shockingly, the third book that I read was In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. And can I just say, like, I loved it. I loved it so much. I didn't enjoy one thing that happened, just one teeny weeny little very super duper upsetting thing that happened. But overall, I think it was a great conclusion to a trilogy, which just doesn't happen very often. So the fact that a trilogy ended comfortably and like happily, not happily, I mean, I guess happily. I don't know, like happily for us, I feel like it was a good ending. Like, I wasn't sitting there like, that's it? Like, it ended there, that happened, and then it ended? Like, I don't know, I feel like it ended very great for a trilogy. The next book that I read was Through the Dark, also by Alexandra Bracken. Shocker, I know. I loved this. Like, I think this was a great novella bind-up. The only other one that I've really nearly enjoyed as much of this was The Assassin's Blade, and aside from, like, one story in The Assassin's Blade, this is my favorite novella bind-up that I've ever read for any story or series or whatever. Like, I don't know. Because our characters were in there, but it wasn't necessarily based off of them as much as I would love novella based off of them. It went with other characters that I also fell in love with, and like the fact that I fell in love with other brand new characters in a novella was just incredible work on Alexandra Bracken's part, and I love the writing style. I love her writing style. It just flows, and it's so easy to read, and I just like absorb the words, and I just, whew, I'm getting emotional. I really love her. I believe I gave all of those books 4 to 5 stars. I don't exactly remember which ones got which amount of stars. It was a month ago. Give me a break. The next book that I read was Wayfarer, also by Alexandra Bracken. I enjoyed this one more than Passenger, but I don't know, after reading The Darkest Minds, like, nothing is gonna live up to that for me, because as Alexandra Bracken said, it's based more on plot, and then Darkest Minds is definitely based more on character, and I'm very much a character type of reader, character-focused reader, I guess, and so as much as I love this book, it wasn't living up to The Darkest Minds for me, so I think I gave it 5 stars just because of the beautiful writing. Not just because of that, obviously, but it was a main factor. The last book that I read in January was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and can I just tell you, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know how to express my love for this book. The characters, and the world, and the plot, and the writing, it was all just like so there. Like, it was a very there type of book for me, and I loved it. I'm still, like, I am so enveloped by this world, and the characters are everything to me. Like, Delilah and Kel are, like, I've adopted 4 new children. Where am I gonna keep 4 new children? Anyways, 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10 stars, 150 out of 100 stars. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Read the book, please. There's sassiness and humor, but also angst, and I'm so happy that I read that. Due to the fact that I read 6 books in January, I'm also going to keep my, I guess, goal at 6 books a month, which isn't gonna happen. That's not gonna be something that stays normal, especially since February is 3 less days, which is like a book. Like 3 less days is a book that I'm missing out on. It's fine. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I'm still keeping it at 6 books just because I like disappointing myself. I don't know. My first book that I would like to read in February is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, because I'm telling you, I'm obsessed. I'm already about 230 pages into this book, and I want to read it so bad, and I haven't had any time, and it is the most frustrating thing in the world. I don't want to spoil it, so we're just gonna block the title. She has like different sections in the book, you know, like part 1, part 2, part 3, but the sections aren't giant or anything, which is like, it makes the book fly through because you're just like, oh, I'll just get to the next section, and you've read like 100 pages. Great, the book is great, the writing's great, the format is great, like the fact that the book is a book is great. The next two books that I want to read in February is The Archived and The Unbound, both by V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab, I guess, because it's, you know, young adult. Anyways, I think that this book is about people that know dead people. I truly don't know, but it's V.E. Schwab, so like I already love it. I already love it, and I haven't even read it because it's V.E. Schwab. I remember reading Vicious, and it's still one of my favorite books, so why I didn't immediately jump onto the Victoria Schwab train, I don't know. But I'm doing it now, and that's what matters. And you should do it now, and that would matter even more. Next two books that I want to read in February, I actually don't have with me because I'm getting them from the library, and they're ready for pickup, and I just haven't picked them up because procrastinating is should be on my resume, but it's not because that would be stupid. Anyways, so I want to read Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. Big surprise. This book is about like monsters and humans, and there's a human that wants to be a monster and a monster that wants to be a human, and it just sounds wonderful, and there's also zero romance in the book. I mean, I guess not ideal, because most of us like romance in books, at least partially, but I'm just really excited to not have any romance in the book, especially when I read Vicious and there wasn't any romance in that, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm living. I don't know why I'm dancing. The next book that I want to read in February is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, I think. That's going off of memory. I don't have the book with me. The book's not actually being so stupid right now. So this book I heard is a hate to love romance type deal. The enemies to lovers trope is never going to be a trope that I get tired of. If it's written the right way, and it's not like an abusive relationship turned into a lover's relationship, 50 Shades of Grey, I absolutely adore it. I'm a sucker for it. I will devour the book. And also Sarah J. Maas recommended it, so I really don't know what else I could need in a book. So, The Hating Game. And the last book that I would like to read in February is A Series of Fortunate Events, The Bad Beginning, which is the first one, which is ironic because it says the beginning in the title. I see what you did there, Lemony Snicket. I'm gonna like slowly work my way through this series. I wanted to read them before the Netflix show came out, but it's like 13 books long, and it's like super on hold at the library right now, and each book is like $10, and I'm like, this thing is tiny. Like, it's a tiny little book. I'm not paying $10 for that. Unless I start loving them, in which case I'll pay $10 for it. But if I don't love them, then you know, it's a classic. I guess that's also why it's expensive. I'm just rambling now. I have no idea what this is about. I think these guys are orphans. I don't know why a 12-year-old is holding an infant. And then that's Count Olaf, played by Neil Patrick Harris, and that's all I know about the book. So that is my January wrap-up and my February TBR. My birthday is in February, and I can't even say the word February. Fun fact. It's fun for me, you probably won't care. My birthday's on the Super Bowl this year, and it's also in Houston, which is like the general vicinity of where I live. So I'm just seeing my birthday everywhere. Like, we have giant, like, electronic billboards counting down to February 5th, and I'm like, hey, you're counting down to my birthday. So I hope you all enjoyed the video for today. I hope you have a wonderful day or night or whatever time it is, wherever you are, and thank you for watching. Me is not buying as many books, so this book buying book tag is a coping method. So, I loved the characters, I can't, the next book, how my hair like gets right here, like it like chokes me. I don't like it. And I feel like it's annoying to edit too. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, there's hair and I can't go back in time and fix it. Unless I was in Wayfarer, in which case I could. Except I don't think I could, because then I would be in the exact same spot as I am. And I think that causes issues in time travel. February. I feel like a Fremulon guy. Fremulon. February. I feel like we just like pretend like the R does not exist. February.